Did you know? In October 1963, the Beatles made a significant appearance on Sunday night at the London Palladium. This television show not only introduced the Beatles to an older audience, but also marked the beginning of Beatlemania for the band's teenage fan base. Throughout 1963, the Beatles had been making appearances on TV and BBC radio, also touring across the United Kingdom to promote their first album and follow-up singles. Despite their widespread fame across the British charts, live venues, and teenage TV programs, the Beatles were not particularly well known or respected among the older segments of the British population. Sunday Night at the London Palladium reached millions of viewers, not just teenagers. When the Beatles topped this bill, it was hard for millions of non-Beatle fans not to take some notice. The Beatles opened their appearance with From Me to You, the song that had first brought them real fame. The band also played it a bit slower than their usual live version. After finishing From Me to You, Paul McCartney introduced their next song, I'll Get You.
It's lovely to be here on the Palladium, and we're glad. We're not.
Throughout McCartney's introduction, however, Lennon playfully interrupted him with goon-like mocking. Despite being a B-side to their newest record and more obscure to the public than their hits, I'll Get You created screams that echoed throughout the London Palladium.
But I'll get you in the end.
Proving that the Beatles already had the teenagers in the audience firmly on their side. After completing I'll Get You, the Beatles thanked the audience and introduced She Loves You. As a part of the TV appearance, they began a little comedy bit where McCartney and Lennon spoke over each other.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to carry on with the song.
George Harrison, the band's lead guitarist, had to lean over to the mic to say,
This number's called She Loves You.
After this introduction, the band jumped straight into their newest hit single. It was an exciting performance, creating even more shouts and screams through the Palladium. After finishing She Loves You, Paul McCartney came to the mic, attempting to introduce their final song, with John Lennon playfully screaming for the loud audience to shut up.
We were wondering.
McCartney encouraged the crowd to clap along, with Lennon doing his usual mockery.
Clap your hands on the beat.
After this introduction, the band started Twist and Shout. Despite the poor quality of the recording, you can still tell how well practiced the Beatles are at performing this old Isley Brothers song. After their iconic bow, the Beatles left the stage with an instrumental version of Twist and Shout playing behind them. Due to the explosive response from the audience, the British press declared Beatlemania had begun. This intense fan interaction would become usual for the Beatles for at least the next 3 years, and to some extent to this very day. The widespread reporting on this Beatlemania would make the Beatles more than just popular recording artists. It would make them into icons. This was a quick breakdown of the story behind the Beatles' first appearance on the London Palladium. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe to me, and leave a comment on what topic I should cover next.